You're listening to 90 Day Soulmate with the Relationship Engineers, Jim Golnick and Lisett Guevara, only on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to 90 Day Soulmate with Lisett
and Jim.
Today we're talking about first meeting faking. What does that mean? Well, I think it means a few things, but we want to talk about is when you meet somebody for the first time. Maybe it's on a date. Maybe it's a job interview. Maybe it's a sales call. There are certain things that people want to have come across, but are they doing it from a I want to be honest with you perspective? Or I want to get what I want from you perspective, and I'm going to lie, cheat, exaggerate.
Typical.
So the same things that can happen in a date can happen in an interview for companies. So we're going to look at how those are related.
In audit, for example.
In audit.
I do every day.
Where people tell you what they think you want to hear. Or they think is something that will get you to stop asking them questions.
Yeah.
Which is the same when you meet somebody, say you're on a date, and they're answering your questions. They will either answer how they really feel. This is how I really feel. This is how I am. They could embellish what they're saying because they want to seem better in certain areas. Or they could take a look at you, assess who you are, kind of what you're getting at, and then kind of move their answer towards something they think you're going to accept more, like an auditor. Or they could say, I don't actually care how I feel. I just want to answer the best way possible so I can have a relationship with you.
Oh, it's a promotion time.
Promotion time. We're going to talk about all of that in today's 90 Day Soulmate, the show called First Meeting Faking.
Okay.
You want to get into it?
Sure.
We'll get into it. So here is the title of today's show, First Meeting Faking. And we're going to look at sales calls, job interviews, and dates. We're going to look at these three different things. I wanted to start off with sales calls because there's something specific in here that when we are, say, on a date or in an interview, there are a few things that all are in common with all of them. And I'll say these are maybe good things, but it will give you a perspective of the areas people may attempt to build persuasion or influence around.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this gentleman? His name is Dr. Robert Cialdini.
Sure, you mentioned so many times.
Oh, so many times.
Dr. Cialdini.
Cialdini. He's written a book on influence. Actually, he's written a number of books. This was one that was very important to me years ago when I was much more involved in sales and sales management and marketing and stuff. And you were looking at how to persuade customers, clients, people to buy or try what you were trying to sell them.
Okay.
Which, like if I meet you and it's in a personal relationship, how do I get you, what do I use to persuade you to try me?
Okay.
You know, how do I get you to go out with me? Or
maybe you used Cialdini in our first date.
It could have been. Let's go through his steps and then we can look at that in a maybe job application. We could look at that in a date application, relationship application. Maybe we should come up with a relationship application.
It already exists.
Before you go out, that's if you want to date my daughter, that application, right? But here's the one is, here, fill this out before we date. Actually, our book is pretty good. This is actually a self-application. Before you date, 90 Day Soulmate, the book, has a lot of worksheets in it, things to do, self-analysis.
Your own application, not the other person.
Right. You're applying to actually understand what you want in a relationship.
Exactly.
So you're actually doing the application yourself, which is probably much better because once you know what you really want,
you start to stalking with the wrong person.
Yeah, you don't get stuck. And you recognize the right person. And because you know what you're looking for, you're not looking for the lies that people tell you, but you're looking for the truths that match. And I'm going to say that has to be organic in a way, right? It can't be, what's your favorite color? Well, what's yours? It's blue. Oh, mine's blue too.
That's it, Mary.
One item. I just have one thing on my list. Same favorite color.
That's it. You don't need more.
I like that color. That's my favorite, in fact.
Mine too.
Oh, let's get married.
I did.
Oh, too late. Let's get back to Dr. Cialdini. In initial meeting, I'm going to break these into two different categories. When you first meet somebody, and then when you try to, quote, close them. Let's say in a sales call versus a date, or even an interview process. In an interview process, you will look at having some reciprocity, like the hello, the thank you, the kind words for each other. Reciprocity is if I do something small for you now, you feel obligated to do something for me in the future. So maybe I'll come into the job interview and I'll hand you my application. Sorry, my resume, my resume. Or I come on the first date and I bring you a flower.
That's so romantic,
right? Or I bring you a cup of coffee.
You did already.
Or I bring you my empty wallet. Oh, you'll have to pay.
You did too. Okay.
But reciprocity is something that is taught in influence and persuasion. So you go to visit a client, a prospect. A prospect could be somebody that you're trying to sell something to, or we'll talk about your date being a prospect, a prospective relationship partner. Doing something up front, giving them something, and we'll look at dating as sales for a moment, is that if I do something, I will treat you to a coffee while we talk, and I'm going to pay, I'm going to open the door for you, I'm going to do little things. One is, it's natural for me to do. We will look at, is it natural for the person to do the things they're doing, or are they just doing them for you on that first date, first meeting?
Think how I process that, because you are with all ladies the same way than me.
What, I open everyone's door?
Yeah.
But that's how I am. But you could say that's how I want someone to be.
Yeah. For everybody. So.
But that is a...
Are you kissing everybody?
I kiss everyone. I do not kiss everyone.
I do.
Oh, that's right. It's you. It's you. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's you.
It's my culture. So it's so lovely, people.
My, oh, my. I do have the ability to clone her. Send us $1 million and we'll send her... No cloning?
It's already did.
Oh, we did. We did it already. But getting back to Cialdini. So we talked about the reciprocity. Liking simply is when you meet somebody, you smile, you try to get along, you say things that are pleasant, that when someone likes you, they will want to continue to have conversations with you.
Yeah.
And liking is something that can happen very quickly. It could be they make an assessment based upon how you walk in, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, how you're dressed. Are you fitting with their sense of style?
Yeah, no. So when you found somebody that make some funny comment and thinking like you, so you say, oh, I like this person because in the deep context, the people thinking and make a comment say, oh.
Joking around. Oh, people who joke around are super smart.
But some people
they're really
like
funny.
or don't like, because maybe the joke is don't like. Some people say, okay, I don't like this kind of person because I don't like joke. So
or you go into a job interview and you start joking with the interviewer, and there's somebody who has no sense of humor, so immediately you're like, I don't like this person. I don't know why I don't like them. But then they are now biased in every interaction. They already have a bias of not liking you. So liking is very important. Consistency is
for me so important.
So consistency, what does that mean? It means once you do something, you continue to do it the way you were doing it.
When somebody's not consistent, I start to thinking and lie to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I like spaghetti, and then the next date is I don't like spaghetti. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Every day I tell you that. So consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. Yeah. Consistently being the same. It also is in meeting with somebody is consistency also can mean I'm going to have a cup of coffee with you today, and you agree to that, so you've already agreed to do something. Now I agree to, this was a great first date. Would you like to have coffee again? I'd love to do that. Yes. So you're now doing something again, and you're creating movement forward. There's a law of physics that an object once in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force.
Okay.
I used this statement in marketing in a big presentation I did years ago, which was once you get a market, once you get a person, once you get a company moving in a direction, there is this momentum, there is this thing that wants them to keep moving in that direction. It becomes a natural flow. So those things that happen in the physical world can happen in the mental world. Now that you've already gotten past the reciprocity, I give you some coffee, you give me a donut, I like you, you like me, we act consistent with each other. Again, whether it's a sales call or a date call. Now we go authority. Well, what does that actually mean? Well, in dating, it's a little different. Maybe, and this is something I thought about before today's show. Is
explain me the authority. And
why shouldn't we get references? You know, you say I had this relationship. It was good for 2 years, but this happened. Da 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 da. You know what? Can I get that person's name and number? I want to call them. I want to check your references. We never check references on dating, do we?
Sometimes I lie because I don't want the person back to me. So we say, yes, it's the good guy. It's the best. Take care.
Go out with him. He was fantastic. It was all my fault that we broke up. He's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
That's great. He won't bother me. He won't bother me again.
Never talk back about your ex. Okay,
never. Talk bad.
That's just the
Especially if you don't want your ex back, tell everyone else they were fantastic.
So fantastic guy.
They were fantastico.
Fantastico. Amazing.
They were the most amazing person. Wonderful. I just don't understand why I was so bad with them.
We're not fixing each other.
I was
so bad for him.
I was so bad. I was the terrible person. I wasn't consistent. That was me. That's what happened. It's funny. So authority is something different, though. Authority is when you are perceived to have the authority. For instance, in sales, if I have an engineering degree and I am talking to somebody about a process they do in their company, and another salesperson from another company has no degree or they have a degree in business, and they can't talk the same way with the same authority on a subject of engineering, then the authority that I bring gives me more credibility. So authority gives credibility.
Yeah, but that apply more for
business, and for sales. Relationship authority. Oh, how about having had past relationships and being able to really convincingly talk about a past relationship and honestly. If you have no past relationship, there may be a difficulty. So I don't know if it's a good thing to have. Oh, I've had many, 300 past relationships.
Yeah, you have a lot of authority.
You've got plenty of authority.
A lot of stuff.
I better call the authorities.
No, the other day I saw one show and the interview some supposed expert in relationship, and she say, how I can ask somebody about relationship if it's divorce? And I say, yes, divorced people also have, I guess, more knowledge that don't want people marry for long time with just one sample, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes the people believe if you failed, or like call fail or divorce, you don't have the expertise, you know what I mean? So sometimes the people felt can maybe strong after this. Well,
what did they say? There's something about being successful in business, that you have to be ready to fail. You have to try to fail.
Yeah.
If you don't try to fail, it's like you fall off a bicycle, and then therefore I'm going to be the best walker ever. Would you trust somebody who's fallen off a bicycle 5 times but now is riding pretty well to be able to tell you how not to fall off a bicycle?
Yeah.
Right? These are the things you don't do in a relationship, because these are the things that happened in past relationships I now learned. I learned to be more transparent, to be open, to discuss things more.
You're not fake. and
right, to read a lot of subject matter, right, on relationships.
Good. So you
to
learn.
do a show on relationships, to learn more every week.
I want to marry you again.
We have that coming up. We have
Yeah.
anniversary coming up this summer, don't we?
Oh yeah,
We do.
yeah. And
So
August.
good stuff. Where are we here? So we talked about authority. Bandwagon. In relationships, it's a little difficult. So in sales, it would be, we have the number one copier in the United States. Everyone buys our copier. That we have 80% of the market, so you should do it too. It's basically saying that others are doing it, you should do it. Now, in relationships, it's kind of tough. It's like, I'm going out with 3 other women. You should date me also. that doesn't really
That's
work.
not work.
Well, bandwagon is a persuasion method.
Okay.
Or don't lose out. Well, that's the other piece, which is the last one. Don't lose out. Because of all these opportunities, there's only one of me. There's only one of me available, and this weekend I have 3 other dates.
Go ahead. It's the pain of the person to decide,
But scarcity in sales is that I can only make 3 copiers this year. They're fantastic. Everyone wants it. I have the authority.
And also, if we remember in Victoria Dream, also is the real history about when you are in competition in one relationship. When you start to dating somebody, and the person knows somebody else, so you wanna unconscious is scarcity in some way. So you wanna be competitor, and then you win. You don't know when you win.
So what competition does, scarcity. The person that I was dating was also dating one other person. This was the beginning of dating. It was very casual. It wasn't very romantic. It was not romantic. It wasn't people sleeping around with each other. It was the initial first dates. And this woman was dating another guy, getting to know him and getting to know me, and now I was feeling some emotions, but those emotions were catalyzed, were exaggerated by scarcity. Not being scared, but there's one of this woman and there's 2 of us, and if there were 2 of her, then there'd be less of scarcity. But
maybe the scarcity mean also that you fail, so it's your ego say, oh my God, why she choose other guy versus me, so I wanna try more, and then you become more insistent and win the competition.
Well, here, I'll put it this way. If you are on a dating app like Match.com and you find there's only 3 people I really like, and then one of the person you start talking to starts saying that they're also dating another person, now that's scarcity, when there isn't abundance of people who match. And so now that there are fewer that you think match, there's more emotion tied to that. This is a similar trigger in sales, where I really want to work with this company, but if I don't make a decision in the next 2 days, the amount of vehicles they can produce this month are gone, and I'm going to losing out on something. So that's it. When we come back, we're going to talk more about all this stuff in relationship to job interviews, sales calls, and dates here on 90 Day Soulmate with Lisett
and Jim.
Be right back. We're here at Inglenook at Francis Ford Coppola's new winery. Well, they've had it for a few years. Let's take a look at one of the books in his library. Here we have 90 Day Soulmate, How to Find Your Perfect Match in 90 Days. Welcome back to 90 Day Soulmate with Lisett
and Jim.
Today we're talking about faking during first meetings, whether they're sales calls, dates, job interviews.
Family meeting?
Family meeting. Well, that happens sometimes. You're talking about this where a family where one of the children in the family make promises, but they make promises and everyone knows that the promises are empty. But they do it, and it seems like they're being so genuine, but no one believes them. So the question is why?
Why do people lie? This is the other show.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about impulsive, reactive, We're going to talk about why people do. There's going to be 4 types of faking or lying that go on, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. In a job interview, however, let's talk about impression management, which is the same thing on a date, right? You're managing what the person thinks of you. Some of the things we'll talk about: self-promotion, fake fawning or excessive. Oh, I know what this is all about. Yeah, and defensive tactics. So, self-promotion is how you show your fit with a position. Whether it's showing your fit with the other person on a date. Oh, I fit with you. Oh, yeah, I love bicycles too. Okay. And you're like, oh, I have never been on a bicycle, but I know they like them, so I'm going to have to go home this weekend and learn how to ride a bicycle. But that's the self-promotion, showing a fit, even if it's a little fit, how you can make it a bigger fit. Like you read a book on dogs, and they love dogs, and they actually work with dogs, and you embellish your love for dogs. Oh, I love dogs. I've always loved dogs. Get away. The fake fawning or excessive, quote, interpersonal liking, where we're talking about that liking piece of Cialdini. In a job interview, you would be saying, wow, what position do you have? How long have you been with the company? That's amazing. I really respect what you do. When you fake and excessively make comments about how great the other person is in an effort to get them to like you more. That's done on dates as well. Yeah. Wow, you're so beautiful. How is someone like you still single?
Oh, yeah, the typical phrase, number 46. I have a list.
Your hair is so beautiful. I've never seen eyes that color before.
Yeah. Oh, your smile.
Oh, your smile. I've never lied like this to anyone ever before. Right? So people do that. They over embellish. And what's funny about this, and I learned this years ago, is that people can tell that you're lying, but they still like it. And sometimes they can't tell you're lying, and they like it. That generally speaking, that when people fake their awness of us, how much they're in awe of us, we like that, even though we know it's probably not true. Yeah. So it's really weird. Defense tactics is, say somebody was let go from a job or fired. There'll be the defense. The company was mismanaged. I was too good for the job. I cared too much. I had too much attention for detail. That they're repairing a damage. In a relationship, it's how bad the other person was. Oh, they cheated on me, when it was actually that person who cheated. That they're trying to repair their image during that initial thing. So when you hear somebody talking about their ex, and it's always the other person who caused the breakups, when you get the 10-year history of all the relationships they had, and it was always the other person.
Run away.
Until they say, you know what, I know where I made a mistake. It's just because I loved them too much. I love you so much. That's that one. What else do we have here? Oh, other faking strategies. Present without being dishonest. So some is you present yourself in the most favorable light without being dishonest, meaning you're not lying about it. You're talking up all the positives. So you self-promote job-related credentials. So, oh, this is how I fit with you. So you're basically cherry-picking the best things. In a relationship, these are all the ways we fit. I'll ignore all the ways we don't fit. I'll only talk about the ways we do fit. Fake answers to interview questions. Somebody asks you your experience with Excel. Oh, I've created many spreadsheets. I read them all the time. I took accounting at night. And you're basically faking all your answers. You have no experience, but you think it matches what the job needs or what the relationship needs. Yeah. Misrepresent traits or skills. Now, this is misrepresentation for 2 different ways, and we talk about commission, where you're actually telling a lie. You're saying you did something you didn't. Or omission, you're not saying anything
about
it. It's like, oh, I never told you I was married right now while we're dating.
But it's important.
It's not important.
I believe it's important.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that you hear people who say, I didn't lie to you, but you never told me you were married. Yeah, but I didn't lie. I didn't tell you I wasn't married. I just didn't say anything.
You never asked me.
You never asked me.
So it's your problem.
It's your problem, not mine. Because you didn't ask me.
Yeah.
The assessments and personality test deception. We'll get more into this as well, but what's interesting about, we don't do this on dating, we don't give people assessments and personality tests. But what people do on these is that they can look at what they think the job requires. And a lot of these personality tests are, how do you think you are this way or that way, on openness to new experiences, on conscientiousness, different traits of your personality. And what people do know a lot of times is that a company may want these type of traits. So they kind of lie on their answers to try to fake what they know. Or if it's a take-at-home assessment and they're told, just do this on your own time, don't look on the computer, don't get help. Well, they do look on the computer, they do get help, and they fake the answers. Now, in a date, do we give assessments?
No.
We do assessments on the fly. This I found really important. This will apply to both applicants and interviewers in a business setting and two people meeting for the first time on a date. That applicants are effective at convincingly faking their emotional expressions, attitudes, and personality characteristics. That applicants tend to be effective, that they can do this. It is possible for them to do. And the interviewers usually are unable to detect such faking. This is exactly the same thing that's true on a date. That the person sitting across the table from you is going to be effective at convincingly faking their emotional expressions, attitudes, and personality characteristics, because they have ulterior motives. They want to be in a relationship. They find you beautiful. They find you handsome. They find your personality fantastic, or they just want to have sex they haven't had in 3 months. So they're going to really try hard to, quote, fake these things. Even if it's just a tiny bit of an embellishment, they're going to want to fit. Because in this exciting opportunity, this dating opportunity.
And also, like that you say, sometimes it's a little stuff, but and then if the person digger this stuff have to like more, have to like more. So for cover one, maybe a little stuff, you have to create more, so that you become like the big mountain.
Big lie. It becomes a bigger and bigger mountain of lies. The interviewers not being able to detect this was kind of an important point, being that we think, what happens is, because the interviewer, or say on a date, the person you're with, you're not able to actually see where they're lying, and they can't see where you're lying, that both tend to lie, because both people are trying to put on their best face. They're trying to do that impression management. It's not only for a job interview, but it's for a relationship interview. Is that you want to put on your best face. You're going to talk about the good stuff, not the bad stuff. You're going to talk about all the best relationships and how good you were in those relationships, and then you're going to blame the other people in those relationships for all the problems. And you're going to try to put yourself on a pedestal, or at least a high enough pedestal.
Yeah. So you're not sure that?
I didn't do this yet? Okay, Here we go. So on a first date, let's talk about impression management on a first date. We're working hard to make a good impression. The excitement of the possibility of a new relationship makes our chemistries change, and part of that chemistry is shutting down of that prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that's logical. So we have a tendency to maybe divorce ourselves from our superego, and we may have a tendency to do things that are a little bit less, following rules and regulations, that we don't follow. We since we're chemically in this like lust piece, we may do things that are deceptive. We may do things that aren't as true as they would be, because our logical piece of our brain that can help control that has been shut down. And so we tend to do more risky behavior, more dangerous behavior. We may tend to lie more. We may tend to, if we're at a bar with somebody and we're drinking, we may say stuff and do stuff just because we're in this lust piece.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. So this is the big part, is we look at behavioral, what causes people to behave in certain ways. And it's the reward. The reward of all this lying, all this, first date impression management is I get to have this inrush of chemicals into my brain. I can have these things, this dopamine and these other things that make me feel so good. And so there's a reward, and the reward is right now too. During this date, while I'm here with you and having a drink, there's a reward in me keeping this feeling going. So I'm going to be pushed to doing whatever is necessary to keep that feeling going.
And also, you remind me one day I have with I outed one company, and then the person, he in the document showed that he's engineer. So we reviewed the job description, blah, blah, blah. And then a week later, they invite me to drink. Now they just say we drink, so we drink, and we keep going dating. But I start to ask questions about the school, and also remind me the TV show that we watched. So he's not graduate, and he showed that. And I feel, why is he so scared for talking like that? So the real issue, he's close to graduate, but he say I am already graduate. So, and in some way I discovered when it's the graduation day, and then I call him this day, say I wanna have some lunch with you today. No, I can't, because he's in the graduation stuff. He never, like you said, the reward, you have to lie with something and lie again, something and have to lie. So, and I said, this is a liar person. Yeah.
Sure. It was like the background check I did on a woman, and I found out she was going for a hearing in court based upon a criminal activity she did, but she never told me about. So I tried to set up a date for that same day, and she canceled the date. I don't know why.
They sent me.
It's a little bit of a lie, sorry, but it's based upon a true story. It is. It's based upon a true story. What happens after that initial stuff where we're telling lies? A few months later, the initial excitement wears off. Our prefrontal cortex jumps back in. Our superego, values and beliefs, we start becoming more value-based and doing things that are right. The behaviors start to normalize, meaning we don't manage our impression as much anymore. We start becoming more of whom we actually are. The partners exhibit different behavior as their guards drop. They get comfortable with each other. They no longer have the lust driving them to fake. So as they are becoming more who they are, this is now more apparent. This also happens in jobs where somebody comes in and they present themselves in some way. For the first number of weeks, they start acting in the way that they present themselves, and then they start to deteriorate into who they really are. Not getting their work done, not showing up on time, all different things, complaining about, it's like, wait, the first couple of months when I did the interview, they were nothing like this. Now they are. And of course, when you called the old company for a reference, they're fantastic. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. I got somebody who's willing to take them. Oh, yeah. The best. I would hire them back in a heartbeat. Yeah, it happens. right? Or I call, or some woman
Ex-wife.
calls you and says, "Hey, your ex-husband, he's fantastic, really?
Yeah.
Great, the best.
Wow.
It was all your fault. Oh, great, I'll date him." If it works out, on the other hand, the deception may not have been intended, meaning the deception that was done in first date was potentially not intended as deception to coerce the other person. It may have just been unintended to make the best impression, but not something out there to try to coerce somebody or persuade them against their will. That you were just trying to make a good impression. That the new behaviors that are the real behaviors of who you are may be deemed acceptable, right? They're acceptable. So I'm not exactly who I told you I was. I don't like the things, like I don't like riding a bicycle, but you know what I do? I do like hiking. Oh, you like hiking too. So maybe it wasn't a perfect match, but there's enough matching that, you know what? These behaviors aren't so bad. That if you were successfully able to navigate, right, the lust, attraction, attachment portions of relationship theory, that you've gone from the impression management of those first dates to a long-lasting relationship. A lot of times it's because the deception was very minimal, the impression management was within norms and typical. Something that we pointed out a few weeks ago, that very few people, and it was only 10% of couples, if you remember this, that couples that had been together 15 plus years or 25 years, that only 10% still saw the other partner as this attraction that they had when they first met.
Yeah.
A lot of that could be because the impression management really has had them change. Now, other changes occur over a lifetime of being together. That you're not growing in goals. When we come back, I think it's ready for us to come back.
See the time.
When we come back, we'll talk more about faking first meeting fakings. When we come back to 90 Day Soulmate with Lisett
And Jim.
We're here at Inglenook at Francis Ford Coppola's new winery. Well, they've had it for a few years, but this is his library, books that he has read over the years that have accumulated in his knowledge and his ability to come up with amazing storylines, beautiful video edits, creativity of films unlike anyone else. Let's take a look at one of the books in his library. Here we have 90 Day Soulmate, How to Find Your Perfect Match in 90 Days by Lisett Guevara and Jim Golnick. Well, if it's good enough for Francis Ford Coppola, it's good enough for you. Welcome back to 90 Day Soulmate with Lisett.
And Jim.
Today we're talking about first meeting faking. We talked about when it did work out, when the deception was minimal, when the actual behavior was acceptable, and when two people were able to navigate through the lust, attraction, and attachment cycle of a relationship. But what happens when it doesn't work out? What happens when the deception lies may have been huge and had harmful consequences? Oh, I was already married. I am still married. Did I even tell you that? I was still married. That the relationship could end really quickly, seriously, and harshly. Or the relationship might continue on, but deteriorate into a dysfunctional connection full of repulsive revelations.
Yeah, because it is one line between, if you are so strict, you lied to me on the first day because you say that your favorite color is blue, but now I see it is red.
It's red.
And then maybe this is not so important for keep going and forgives, but depend the context, depend the quantity
in
of
the person too.
Yeah. So it's
some people like no lying or not even lying. Just I misspoke. Oh, you can't misspeak. It's like I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that is the worst part of all of this is when there was deceptive lying up front and the relationship is so entangled and entwined and you can't extract yourself, or if it's an abusive relationship that you didn't catch on early enough, and now how to get out of that is very difficult. We're going to come down to our last few minutes here and talk about distinctly different forms of faking. So one is self-presentation, that you're just doing impression management to present yourself in the best light possible. That's the simplest level of faking. You're faking. Everyone's faking a little bit. So it could be almost like a natural way that we want to give the best impression and minimize what we see as maybe blemishes. Exaggeration is number two, the second level, exaggerating. You're exaggerating things even more than they really need to be. Then there's reactive responding, where depending on a question or how a conversation's going, you choose to now be deceptive, where you weren't going into the meeting or going into the date to be deceptive, but you become deceptive. And then finally, the fraudulent responding, where you're going in with the intent of being deceptive. In job interviews, it's completely lying about, fabricating your background, fabricating why you left a company. It's not even close to the real reason. Your personality, you could say, I know I'm not conscientious at all. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm a 1. But I know they need a 5 for this job, or a 4, so I'm going to say I'm a 5 in conscientiousness. And that's the fraudulent response. So in self-presentation, you're trying to maintain a particular reputation. Is it a threat? That's a question. Is it a threat to the validity of the assessment this is for job related? Social competence. The interesting part of this, and I'll take this off here, is that self-presentation can also be seen as a positive social competence. That if it is something where somebody can maintain an impression of who they are and how they relate to other people, that it's a competency which is a valuable competency, because it's something they may exhibit in an interview or on a date, but then they continue moving forward with that same presentation. It could be an accurate evaluation of how others view them, because they play a role. They play a role in business. That's how they are. That's how people view them. They may know that's not really how they are internally, but they can uphold that social facade. So they may also show that desired behavior moving forward. They may be working towards that projection of their own image. So there's some positives to this. They can balance the enhancement of what they are enhancing about themselves to how others view them. So they can look at how others view them and what they enhance about themselves to match how others view them. So they're trying to show how others view them rather than how they view themselves. So self-presentation was a good form of faking. It's not bad, and I'll say not necessarily. Exaggeration, elevating some traits or attributes that exceed the truth, small increase or decrease of trait items. So actually keeping in line with your existing traits. Like I am conscientious, and saying I'm very conscientious. So you're going from a 4 to a 5 rather than a 1 to a 5 in conscientiousness. That it does not necessarily invalidate the response. It may exaggerate it, but it doesn't invalidate. And so they're testing, and we have assessments at work where we give people assessments on personality. The assessment itself will assess whether the person exaggerated their answers. And if they exaggerated too much, it starts giving negative points. But a little bit slight exaggeration here, there, or there it will say slightly exaggerated, but the responses are valid. When there's too much exaggeration, it invalidates.
And also like the part, the narcissism, so typical, I see the narcissism people sometimes exaggerate a lot.
So that last point there, narcissists inflate their openness to new experiences, which means, oh yeah, I take others' opinions all the time. I always have something new to learn from everybody. That their ambition, I'm very well driven, and social ability, I get along with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So how social they are. They have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance.
Mm-hmm.
Going beyond that, so we were talking about people answering questions, not going into an interview, going into a date without the intent of lying. Mm-hmm. But then they end up lying. And there's something that's called reactive responding. It's an opportunistic form of faking where they don't go into fake, but now an opportunity to lie comes up or to fake, and they take it. So they may not have intended to fake. So they're prompted with an item, content, or see a vulnerability. So now I'm on a date with you, and you say something about, I was hurt by my ex-boyfriend. I don't want anyone to ever lie to me. Have you ever lied to anyone? And I'm like, oh no, I've never ever lied. I always tell the truth, and I can see you're hurt, and I will always be there for you. And now you saw an opportunity to lie to the person in the exact way that they're most vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's reactive responding, opportunistic.
Yeah. Okay.
So impulsive versus reflective reactive responding is, impulsive is you just take input and you respond in the way that you think is best, but you don't compare it to how you responded before and before and before. So there's no consistency in your reactive lies. Whereas reflective reactive responding is you go, how did I say this before? And now you're actively lying, but having to be consistent in your lies. There's something else here, which we talk about no regard to your self-ideal, yourself, or ideal applicant partner schema, meaning that how you're answering questions may have no reality into what, like I'm answering questions that I see an opportunity to answer in some way, and I feel that's how I'm going to answer it. I'm lying, but I actually am not looking to match what you're asking and what you're looking for, nor am I looking for it to be anything similar to me. And that can be reactive. It's just haphazard.
Yeah.
And the final statement on this is that the people who do this type of reactive responding to opportunity to say something, they'll say something. And I had this happen at work with an interviewer where they said something about how much they like to do a certain software. And they answered it one way, and it was actually the opposite of what we wanted. And then we go to clarify, we call them back and say, hey, you said this. And they're like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. I meant this. And once they had time to think about it, they realized that what we were looking for wasn't the way they answered it, so they changed their answer on the phone. And it was like, just slow down. And sometimes it's
nervous.
It's nerves.
It's nervous.
It's they answer and they're not thinking. And sometimes that's good, is that when someone's nervous in an interview, sometimes they answer more honestly. Because the people who are most in control in an interview are typically those who
Like
are very, very calm at being able to lie. They call these people clumsy. Impulsive reactive responses are also people who clumsily fake. They are clumsy when they fake because they're not keeping things consistent. Final one, and we talked about this, is fraudulent responses. People who fraudulently respond. They come into the interview, they come into the date with the intent to lie and cheat. They throw out misleading, untrue, fabricated answers. If you're looking for someone who wants a long-term relationship, that's what they want. If you want to date a number of people, that's what they want. They lie about everything. They completely misrepresent their skills, their traits, their past relationships. It's just dishonest, disregard. They have the intent to, once they're accepted or brought into the relationship or into the organization, they're counterproductive. They are dishonest. They misbehave. And these are perhaps the most dangerous of all because they have intent from the beginning to lie and cheat.
Yeah.
If there's one thing we can tell you, this is our focus right now, is to say, hey, maybe we can't catch all the others. Maybe the others aren't as important in deception, but the fraudulent response people.
Yes, is the critical.
It's the
one.
critical. And that's why it is so important for you to know what you really want in the relationship. Take a step back. Keep your prefrontal cortex engaged in your upfront work that you do prior to and when you are on your dates.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll have your own 90-day soulmate moment like Lisett.
And Jim.
Have a great week. Enjoy your July 4th.
Yeah, enjoy.
Is that it?
You're listening to 90 Day Soulmate with the Relationship Engineers, Jim Golnick and Lisett Guevara, only on LA Talk Radio.